Hi, I'm Katie Guile with US Assure. So you've heard the expression, it's the little things that count, right? It might make you think of taking the afternoon off, opening doors for strangers, and smelling the roses. But when it comes to builder's risk insurance and a construction disaster, whether or not you pay attention to the little things can make the difference between saving the day for your client and burdening them with the stress of an underinsured project. Let's discuss 3 details you should master with the Builder's Risk Plan insured by Zurich. First, anticipated completion date. When submitting a builder's risk application, it's a common mistake to use the policy expiration date in place of the anticipated completion date. The problem is, if your client's project incurs a covered cause of loss, they'll expect coverage. But Zurich's claims adjuster will rely on the information you entered on the application. If the anticipated completion date is wrong, it can create issues triggering coverage for a delay in the project. And if your client's policy included time element coverages like soft costs or business income, that incorrect completion date can mean the coverage never triggers for the loss, which means they won't get the full benefit of coverage they paid for. Double-check this detail before you submit the application to ensure clients get the coverage they're expecting. As a bonus, catching this often overlooked mistake means you can deliver value as the trusted insurance agent who's always on the ball. Next, number 2, let's discuss the allotment of soft cost and hard cost coverage. When you're determining how much coverage your construction client will need for their project, it can be easy to overlook or miscalculate. For example, let's say you list the soft cost value under the hard costs in the application. Then, clients incur a loss that requires soft costs to be paid. When they file that claim, their coverage might not trigger and they might be unpaid or underpaid for the loss. Typically, a construction agreement or cost breakdown will dictate the coverage limits. The hard cost sum is based on the total completed value of the project and includes all costs associated with the design and building of the project. So that could be site work, labor, building materials, developer fees, impact fees, contingency, profit, and so on. Soft costs are less tangible items. They include advertising and promotional expenses, construction loan interest, architect, engineer, and consultant fees, real estate and property tax assessments, commissions or fees for lease renegotiation, insurance premiums, legal and accounting fees, license and permit fees, and so on. And here's the important part. These soft costs would likely have been paid prior to construction. And lastly, number 3, when builder's risk coverage ends. Do you know when your client's builder's risk coverage will stop? You might think, sure, when the project is complete or when the policy expires. Well, yes and no. This gray area can spell trouble for your clients if they're expecting coverage to be in place and it already ceased. So what causes builder's risk coverage to end? Builder's risk coverage can end due to any of these scenarios, whichever happens first. The policy expires or is canceled. Your client's interest ceases because the policy expired or was canceled. The property was accepted by an owner or buyer. It was leased or rented, or the project was abandoned without the intention to complete it. It could also cease when permanent property coverage becomes available, or even 60 to 90 days after occupancy, depending on the coverage form you selected at policy issuance. But remember, these terms may vary based on your coverage form. Walking your clients through their policy coverage terms can ensure they know the significance of these events. You may also want to have them sign a printed or digital copy of their policy as a protective measure for your business. Mastering the finer points of the Builder's Risk Plan insured by Zurich is a big part of delivering value for your personal and commercial lines construction clients. Keep these items in mind to ensure one little detail doesn't make for disappointment. Want more insights on common mistakes that could lead to claim problems? Check out our guide, 7 Common Builder's Risk Claim Mistakes and How to Avoid Them. You'll see the link at the end of this video. Now, go out there and get your black belt in the Zurich Builder's Risk Plan. Hiya!